Along with discussing mortgage rates and the state of the U.S. economy, we'll also take a closer look at Bitcoin. BlackRock recently released new rails and a new system. Just wait till you read this article. To top it all off, we have an exquisite XRP chart that you should view right now. We have to take a deep breath and leap right in. Ethereum is at $239, while Bitcoin is at $55,995, up 1.3% over the last 24 hours. Right now, it's unavailable. While 13% of the US dollar and US dollar cash have returned to their respective dollar pegs, XRP has slightly declined, closing at 57 cents, or 2.45% of the overall market capitalization of cryptocurrencies at this time. We firmly believe that there will be a surge in Q4 of this year, which will persist until tax time in 2025, potentially prolonging the bull run. People, here's something to watch out for as of the end of 2025. We haven't seen the breakthrough that we've been hoping for this year. We are discussing XRP and Ripple. Bitcoin HRV recovering everything, so pay attention. This is the NBC News article. The Fed's purge is imminent. How much? That's a reduction to the unknown. The Federal Reserve claims that the central bank measures various borrowing costs across the economy against the federal funds rate. The Reserve has hinted at a rate reduction. The central bank lowered the federal fund rate, a benchmark for other borrowing costs across the economy, on Wednesday for the first time since the COVID-19 outbreak. While this action was generally expected, investors cannot accurately predict the extent of the potential cut. The majority of respondents to a CNBC correspondents survey on Tuesday predicted a 25% reduction from the current level of 5.3%. Despite the claim made by Wall Street traders, the probability of central banks taking a cursory glance is higher. What are our current knowledge bases? Look at whether it will be 1/4 or 0.5%. In contrast to the Vegas B lines, that is where the worst chances are. You know it won't be 1%, that would be just crazy. It's quite straightforward to reduce these rates by 0.5%, but what impact will this have on the cryptocurrency markets as a whole? That's what I'm looking for. Do you plan to investigate lower interest rates on your CDs, given that they are essentially your bonds, much like your treasury bonds? Thus, after that, their rates decrease. Since we were receiving more than 5% on those rates, a decrease is expected. If those rates drop to around 2.5 or 3%, investors will seek to allocate their funds elsewhere. Treasury bonds and CDs are essentially guaranteed investments, so if you tell them you'll only be getting 2 to 3% on those, investors will be looking into cryptocurrencies as a haven. Perhaps 1% or 5% of their capital will be invested in cryptocurrencies. Perhaps even 10% of their capital, a substantial sum of money, could be invested. Begins to shift away from traditional finance and into the cryptocurrency markets as a result of realizing that, well, they have the willingness to take a little risk in their portfolios. This may 100% assist start the bull run. The focus will be on, pay. Pay attention to this and follow through. How much of a decline there is, and when money starts to rotate out, it won't happen instantly, and we won't witness the rate cut coming today. Well, we will witness the rate cut, but money won't immediately start flowing into cryptocurrency. Rather, it will take some time, possibly until Q4 of this year, before it starts to trickle. Why ignore the notion that this surge in cryptocurrency markets will continue until tax season? We all know what occurs during tax season, and large corporations are aware of how much cash they must present. They begin to sell off, they settle their debts, and then, in the summer of 2025, we can keep pushing higher. At that point, we anticipate exponential movements in many altcoins, and mortgage rates will drop for the first time in more than 18 months. Does this make sense? Indeed, I think this was a huge bubble and an overreaction. I believe there will be a remedy for the current mortgage and housing rates. Will we ever recover? If the mortgage rate drops to between 2% and 3%, it will largely depend on the outcome of the upcoming presidential election. Because there are two contenders, there will be a presidential election in less than 2 months that will have a significant impact on both the U.S. economy and the cryptocurrency market. Someone who has spoken extensively about cryptocurrency and attended the Bitcoin conference expressed their desire for the United States to take the lead in this area. There is another individual who isn't as vocal about cryptocurrency as the first one. They declare their disinterest in cryptocurrency and then become interested. I assume this is simply a ploy to gain support before they come out and sue in public. A lot is going on here, but what we are about are interesting times. I believe NFTs was an assault on Trump. We encourage everyone to participate, especially with Q4 less than 2 weeks away. Jesse Haynes addressed this crucial issue in a Token 2049, saying, "To be honest, this came as close as anything has to convince me to give up on cryptocurrency. Laugh aloud and observe. Therefore, a new kind of well begins, with good old Italic serenading you with a lovely tune at Token 2049. Simply what his backers and investors want to see is whether there's a simple inconsistency with the man folks. Let's call it spade to spade, or whether there's a serious inconsistency with this. Man, he's been selling off a lot of Ethereum lately. We anticipate interesting times ahead, but we still believe Ethereum will reach 10,000. Some even say it will reach 20,000, which would be a tenfold increase from now. Here's the video again. We're going to talk about it. Just recently, the $10 trillion financial behemoth BlackRock published a comprehensive analysis of Bitcoin, claiming it to be a special diversifier. Now that the new marketing team has arrived, we can expect to see a rotation of these financial behemoths, such as BlackRock. Morgan J.P. Charles Schwab Honesty Robinhood intervenes and begins to advocate for cryptocurrency. Since an alt season is impossible, let's start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin comes first, followed by money until it decides to advance. Swaps out what was previously a playbook. Furthermore, nothing has changed since 2013. Chad released these. BRICS declared not merely for cross-border payments, new rails will be a completely new financial network. New Rails, New Globe BRICS is aiming to develop a new payment system that does not incorporate the U.S. currency or its verified process. Russia's foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, stated that the new payment system will function as a comprehensive financial framework and facilitate cross-border transactions. This is especially significant in light of Trump's declaration that he wants to ensure that the U.S. remains at the forefront of the cryptocurrency race and BRICS' significant announcement of a new payment system. Given the numerous collaborations that Ripple has established with the UAE and the Indian banks, of which it currently controls approximately 75%, I wouldn't be shocked if Ripple were collaborating with every bank in India. We already know that Ripple has been doing business with these institutions. Since Ashish Burr revealed that Ripple owned more than 75% of the banks during his onstage appearance at a convention in Canada in 2018, we have been aware of this fact. They essentially only have one significant bank. We're not aware of any changes, but we do know that Ripple has locations throughout. We've observed a diverse range of job opportunities visiting there as well, after which there was a Reddit post, and as you can see, this is an incredible reply. Although Ripple's direct collaboration with Russia seems unlikely, the open-source nature of the XRP ledger theoretically allows for the creation of a future BRIC coin. This system, in my opinion, is likely to be a newly designed network that prioritizes interoperability. Adoption of XRP is inevitable, so don't rely solely on BRICS adoption. If anything, the West may adopt XRP in response to BRICS, because, after all, the West doesn't want to lose the US in this cryptocurrency race.